Imagine your dream house in Norfolk. 3 bedrooms, river views, pizza ovens, outhouses, tree houses, wisteria-covered lawns and hammocked trees. So, what's the price of perfect happiness? 10 grand. Meet Kate and Charlotte.
This is Kate.
And this is Charlotte.
And this is the story of their home.
I'd say there's definitely 3 people in this marriage. There's me, there's Kate, and there's Cobb.
Cob is this incredibly fantastic material. It's basically made from subsoil, so it's a mixture of clay, sand and straw.
Kate and Charlotte's story began in a wine bar in Norwich. It was not love at first sight.
We spoke on the phone first, and I think it was love at first hearing.
Kate was a sculptor, Charlotte a musician. They were a happy couple who needed just one thing: a place to call home. But it had to be something special. And then Kate met Cobb.
The great thing about it is it's dug from the site wherever you are. So wherever you are in the world, you can dig up your subsoil, mush it together in the right proportions and make this delicious substance, which you can then use to sculpt your house in any shape you like. Not only is it really, really cheap to build, but once you've built it, it can be incredibly energy efficient.
So Charlotte had Kate and Kate had Cobb. All they needed now was to make that home. Not just an ordinary old home, this was a Cobb home. Cobb Paradise nestled on the banks of the Norfolk Broads.
When we came across the house, came down the long track and finally found it, it was the middle of winter and it was definitely love at first sight. There was a thick mist hanging over the garden and around the cottage. You couldn't see the Broad at the bottom of the garden, so we didn't even know it was on the water. And as soon as we saw it, we just fell in love with it.
I could feel it and I was like, oh my God, that is the house. It's just so sweet and so remote, and just the feel of the energy of it. I was lost.
It was the house, but it was not quite perfect.
Originally, I know it would have been 1 room, just the kitchen. And I imagine a reed cutter living there with his 10 children and having like an open fire pit at the centre of the kitchen.
No 10 children, but it still needed an extension.
I didn't have much experience of cob building when we started this project. However, Kate was kind enough to give me all the jobs she didn't fancy doing. So I would be out there in the snow, sieving clay from the garden and dancing on it, literally the snow falling down to make the clay plaster. I'd be the one dancing on the cob and handing it to Kate.
They loved Cobb so much they just couldn't stop, and soon they added a wood fire oven and outbuildings to their new home. Conventionally, it would have cost £100,000. Remind us, what did it cost?
£10,000, which we were quite happy with.
And now the house was complete, and they could sit back and enjoy life as happy as 2 peas in a cob pod.
You know, everything has been designed exactly around our needs, which is mainly lying in the bar.
I also love the sitting room. It's where I write my music, do my writing, looking out across the water.
I love the hallway, the entrance hall. It's my favourite room. As you come in, there's something about when you enter a building, I don't know, it just feels important that that room is sensational.
The stairs I love. They're just mud from the garden again, making the cob. They cost us nothing. If we'd had a wooden staircase built, it would have been several £1,000s, but they're free and I love that.
After 5 years of bliss, their son arrived. And what did that require? You guessed it, more Cobb.
I'm also building a little tree house for our boy, and so I'm using cob to make a spiral staircase around a tree, and which will come up to a platform, which will be a regular tree house. But I thought, why do it in wood when you can do it in mud?
So, understandably, Kate and Charlotte are proud homemakers.
When you look at birds and they build their nests and they just do it instinctually, and animals just make their own dens, it's something quite amazing to have sort of got back in touch with those skills that are innate in all of us, I think. And for someone who, I'm a musician and a writer, to have tapped into those skills that I never knew I had is quite exciting.
I'm just really proud of myself that I've built it. You know, I really feel quite, I can't believe it, really. I can't believe I've built a house out of mud.